Welcome, Senior G, to Champagne and Conversations. How are you? What up?
All right. How you doing, young lady? I'm just grateful
I'm
that my
good.
eyes open this morning.
Yes,
Thanks for
good. And
asking.
listen,
How you doing?
I'm well. And listen, I'm going to cheers to you. I know you can't
Okay.
drink and drive, so we're going to just let you do what you're doing, and I'll take over the drinking, okay?
Okay. 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 Well, I got a high tolerance, so be careful if you if
Oh,
you
okay.
if you're gonna be on retainer for me.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I guess I better start now then. Cheers to you.
Ah.
What's up? How are you?
Hey, like again, humbly, I'm just grateful that my eyes open today, that the creators have blessed us all with the privilege to enjoy
Absolutely.
this thing that we call life on this plane of understanding.
Yes.
And that I'm able to share some news with you guys. And, hopefully things will come to fruition, not necessarily when I want them to happen, but when I need them to happen.
Okay. All right. Well, you've done step one. You've started the process and called it in. So now you just need the manifestation. So we're going to work on
Yes,
that part.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I,
Absolutely.
I need help. I need help.
Yes, that's it. That's what we all touch and agree. That's what we're going to do today.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Senior G with us. Not new to the music world, actually en route from one part of a video shoot to the other. So we do appreciate him taking a moment to join us to discuss the video, to discuss his new single, which is called Just Listen. And I
Mm-hmm.
just love the way it starts with a gift, a gift. I love that part. So
Oh yeah,
I
I
do
thank God
appreciate
that
the
she gave
lyrics.
me a gift.
Yes, a gift, a gift. I love that part. So talk to us, tell us all about your inspiration for Just Listen, and what you guys are working on currently, because like I said, you all are in the middle of a video shoot.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the video shoot for Just Listen. Yeah, I
Mhm.
know it's not your traditional release as far as how records seem to be given to the audience nowadays. It just seems like everything is kind of like microwaved, in short.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, things don't happen the way that we want them to happen all the time. And then we can also plan for things, but sometimes um,
Things
a lot
change.
of things don't go as planned.
Yes.
So
Hence
we're just
COVID.
now able to get it. Yeah, we're just now able to get it done today. Um, scheduling and everything else, and then you got this whole thing with this pandemic that's going on. The
Did you say
coronavirus
pandemic?
been Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The coronavirus has been different strains of it have been around since like the 60s. It's not nothing new. And it saddened me how much it hit me when I realized, wow, how many people really don't look at labels. They just kind of like programmed to get things. And some of these things that they're programmed to get as adults are only because they were familiar to them as children in their households, you know?
Okay. Okay.
So
So with that, you're saying that I guess in terms of the COVID, you've been able to not have any experience with it and blessed that your family has not had any occurrences as well or any effects from it.
no, I
Physical
haven't. I,
effects.
I haven't had any. I'm in the medical field. I haven't had any issues. I'm in the private sector,
Okay.
thankfully.
Okay.
But by the same token, knowledge is power. People should, instead of just taking something that was told to you at face value, oh, that's what it is because somebody told you that, on a box. You know what I'm saying? And I
I
just
guess
would
this is
encourage people to just to be
the
more
trilogy.
informed. Just to
Okay.
just to inform yourselves a little more. That's all.
This is the trilogy. This is the education slash professor slash producer. slash EMC
yeah.
speaking at this moment, right?
Well, I'm just, I'll tell you the same thing. I don't mind being a broken record, because in order for the information to get out there, I have to be repetitive in it, to get better, to get better at delivering the message.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I know new age hip hop isn't for everybody. I'm sorry. I'm not promoting self-destruction of one's culture, of oneself, degrading women or anything like that. I'm sorry. I'm not pushing pharmaceuticals on people. That's not what new age hip hop is about. New age hip hop is about using our vocabularies, not bridge words, and bridging the gap between generations through the music, because there's a huge disconnect in society as a whole, regardless of color, just people in general. There is a huge disconnect, and within simplicity lies complexity. So someone such as myself, I look at it and it's like, wow, it amazes me how deep into the matrix some individuals are plugged in, and it's hard for them to unwind, and the levels of cognitive dissonance start to explode as high as the firmament dome, that the thing that people refer to as the sky.
So as it relates to your music, you're infusing, if you will, some, I guess, consciousness, some thought-provoking aspects of what is happening in today's society with a lyrical content, and you're just kind of creating what you call new hip hop, or the new age hip hop.
Mm-hmm. Well, in a sense, yes,
Okay.
But new age hip hop is something that's been, it's not new. It's been around for decades.
Okay.
It's just that I haven't been able, up until recent years, been able to get it to a certain level of exposure, which is fine, because then I'll just revert back to a previous statement when I said it's not about when I feel I want it to happen, it's when it needs to happen. And I'm gonna continue to strive forward to be a better person, just to be a better individual, to be a better man, to be a better example, for the younger generation, because as their elders, we are obligated to instruct them and guide them. And
and you've been led and guided based on what we know of your history as the legacy that you actually hold. You have great legends in your family. So how does that feel to have been, kind of guided in that way and been able to get such a
it's a blessing, Uncle Chubbs, Uncle Rob, my cousin Mikey D from Main Source. And then when I got out of school, from the Institute of Audio Research, I was able to work with George Nooks, which was a very high reggae artist back then. I'm fresh out of school. I'm a kid to them. But they liked how I carried myself. They always said, I've always been told I had an old soul since single digits. I've always been.
Well, I guess so, being around Chubb Rock and, like you said, your Uncle Mike and all of those great folks, that you've been able to get the experience that you needed to fuse where you are today with your new era and the old school, I guess. Is that basically?
Well, yeah. What new age hip hop is, it's growing. It's still growing. So when
and
I
it
say
still has the same lyrical content, that you still have the same lyrical flow as the traditional hip hop, which is nice.
Well, in some records, yes, and in some records, no.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'm true to my sign. I'm a Capricorn. My birthday's on Christmas, so I'm capricious.
How convenient. How convenient.
It's very convenient. And as long as it's a consistent negative, 16 degrees outside, I could walk on water.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Now the manifestation will begin.
Oh yeah. Look, I can't make wine, but I can turn any amount of water into
I hear you. Let's go. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
When does the album release, or have you already released the album? I know that you have the single out.
No, I have two singles out.
Okay.
One is Ooh, it's on Spotify. Just Listen is also on Spotify and Amazon and all that great stuff. I'll make it
Okay.
real easy for the listeners that are
Yes,
tuning
tell them
in.
where they can find it.
All you got to do is go to your favorite search engine and type in senior, like your last year in high school or college. Hit your space bar, GEE, hit the return key. That's it. Everything you need to know is right there. I don't have a Wikipedia yet. That'll come down the line. But everything else, social media, YouTube, everything is all right there. You know, I've taken the steps to try and put myself out there as professional and as humble as possible.
Sure.
You know, because it's like, you know, now we're in an era now where people talk a lot, and it's even faster than what it was, especially if you're someone who's been on a New York Minute your whole life. You know what I'm saying? It's even faster than that now. And then with
the New York Minute,
technology,
you got 60 seconds to talk.
Yeah. And it ain't even a whole true 60 seconds. More like 52.
Well, California is 30 seconds. So at least you got a whole minute.
Yeah. You know, I haven't been, that's where you at now there in Cali?
I'm not. I'm actually on the East Coast as well. I'm just a little shy of DC.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, so we're on the same coast, but I do a lot from the West Coast. And when I was doing that heavily in the industry, it was that 30-second, you got to get in and get out. We just don't have a lot of time to listen. So make it good.
Yeah.
Make it good. And as it relates to your video, what's the inspiration behind you are in Queens, so you did mention that.
Yeah, Queens. Yeah, I went back.
A little bit of it.
I went back to, you know, my old neighborhood.
Okay.
The street, the block that I grew up in. I'm from Rochdale Village, Circle 5, God Rule 134. You know, recipes, Freaky Ty, Silky, all
absolutely.
Lost.
Yeah,
you know, and I was explaining to my nephew here, you know, because he's never been to that part. It was his first time here, you know, to that, well, at least to that section of Queens anyway.
Okay.
And I was just telling him, like, yeah, these people are from here. You know, Lost Boys is from here, 50 is from here. His grandpa, you know, his mom's or his grandmother's had a house back here back in the day. And I'm just pointing it out. I said the only difference was they lived in the houses and I just lived across the street in Rochdale Village in the cooperative apartments. Yeah, I didn't necessarily grow up in a house, but I grew up in a fireproof environment, you know, and
around amazing people.
Yeah,
amazing
definitely.
Talent.
Yeah. When I was young, you know, Run DMC used to hang out in front of my building, Onyx. You know, it's good to have been
the vibe
in that area.
Yes.
And then from that era, and just to see it and to just take the energy. I'm a person that's based off of energy.
Absolutely. Yes, if you walking on water, you better take the energy.
Only when it's frozen, though. It's got to be 16 degrees. You know?
Don't limit yourself. Keep going. You already claimed it, so I need you to just keep going.
Yeah, but that's the catch. So before anybody can ask what's the catch, I said, let me just tell you what it is.
Catch.
So no catch. I'm just being brutally honest. I can do it, but it's got to be cold outside. And last time I checked in that book, Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth, it did not necessarily say what time of year it was when he was doing that. Just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying?
Now that y'all want to get specific, we got to go back and check it out.
Yeah. I got to make sure I cross my T's and dot my I's.
Okay. We got that. So now with you and all of your influences as you have been in the world of hip hop, any features you have on this album with any of the old school hip hop?
Asking my uncle Rob Swinger to get me a Rob Swinger track for some time now. You know, whether he produces it completely or we do it, you know, a co-production version of it, that's fine. But I just want to get him back involved.
Yeah.
I want to reach out to some of the elder producers, you know, when possible, to reach out for them and say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. I'm not asking for any handouts. I'm asking for some guidance.
Or some collaborations.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, are you willing to be a part of the village.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
because I literally came from a village. I literally grew up in Rochdale Village. You know, my whole neighborhood raised me. You know, I'm from that era of, you know, picking switches. You know what I'm
When
saying?
necessary, yes.
You know, you do that now, they be like, that's child abuse, call CPS on them. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
yes, yes. Well, that is awesome that you are actually working on it already. And as you are developing your album, you know, you're kind of fusing the two, the old and the new,
Yes.
which will definitely, you know, branch you out. So during the COVID, I know your perspectives on it have been pandemic, but once the pandemic is over, or at least it has settled to a degree, where do you plan to perform?
Well, you know what? I'm not in the business of making things up or lying to people. I'm just going to humbly say whatever the universe has in store for me. I'm
Okay.
trying to educate myself further because knowledge is infinite, and I kind of have been stuck in like an era of what I once knew the music business to be, and many moons have passed since then, and it's very, very different now. So I'd rather take my time, and I have no problem waiting, you know, because to talk about Just Listen the record, you know, the record itself and the idea itself is old enough to vote. That record is not new, you know, it's old to me, new to the world.
Okay.
You know, I'm still working on my original thoughts.
You still working on the gift that was coming to you?
Yeah.
I want to
You
need
know,
you to perfect that gift quickly.
I'm still working on it. You know,
Okay.
I'm not trying to be the GOAT. I'm just going to be the greatest me. And to
Okay.
be great, I gotta
Well,
continue
that's it.
to be humble and learn and ask for villagers to
Right.
learn from and teach one. Because that's how I grew up. You know, there's no more of that, it seems. You know, not just in your local neighborhoods, but within businesses too, industries.
Yeah.
The music business. You know, when are we going to get out of this crabs in the barrel, Jim Crow, all
You
kinds
can
of
start
stuff?
that campaign. I'll be with you on it because it's been a
I mean,
long time. Yeah.
my whole legacy, Senior G's legacy is going to be that and then some, because
Awesome.
you know, talking about the music is one thing, you know, but what I say in these interviews is, you know, I'm just gonna be humble and just be willing to accept whatever further blessings come my way, embrace them, deal with the struggles, because if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, mentally and otherwise.
And enhances the art for sure. Because if it's not on this album, I'm certain that the next one will reflect or display whatever you've actually you know, come up against or what have you when going through this one. If this one has been old enough to vote and you're bringing it to life.
I re-recorded it. This was the second time recording it in its first commercial release. The first version of it still had profanity in it. Okay. You know, new age hip hop was young, but I was still cursing. I was still using the N-word, you know, and just
so this is the all grown up version.
Yeah, this is the all grown up version because look, I'm a parent.
Yes.
You know, I have grown children and I have small children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and my philosophy is, you know, if my children can't listen to the record, how can I expect anyone else's? Period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it all starts at home. So it's the airport.
Yes. So, well, that's awesome. We do congratulate you on your album, your social media. Could you share that also for those folks that may want to follow you, DM you for any extra information that they may be looking for, especially when you get to touring?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, on Instagram, everything is GSP SENIOR, the number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the handle. GSP Senior 2. That's the handle.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
for everything.
Okay,
You
for
know?
Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. I try to be consistent and try to keep it the same, because at the end of the day, you know, your biggest supporters are going to be strangers. They're not going to be your friends. They're not going to be your relatives.
Right.
You know, it's not going to be your day ones. You might get
Oh, you might have those.
You might have a couple, but I'm just being brutally honest here. You should not depend on any of that, you know?
Well, you always want to get new, for sure. If
Yeah,
that is what it is, the consumer base is important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you just need to come into, I think, any situation with that mentality if you're going to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Because then there's no disappointment.
Yes. And you have to believe that you can walk on water, even if it's not 16 degrees.
Oh, no, I know my limits.
but as an entrepreneur, we want to be able to see a bigger picture. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not that we're encouraging anyone to go out there and try this.
No.
It's all in the thought. In the thought, people. In the thought.
No.
Yes, absolutely. No. We certainly appreciate you. I know that your time was limited and you are traveling, and I want you to stay with what you have going on with your video shoot today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we appreciate you spending time with us today.
Well, no, I appreciate you having me again.
Absolutely. We had to definitely give you the love and give you the respect of saying, let's find out about your new music, or your music that lives on, let's say that. And anything that you have to share with us, we want to make certain that we can follow. You have an amazing following actually on Spotify. I noticed that as well. So congratulations on it.
Thank you.
And we look forward to some more music. Yeah, it's growing. And that's what it's about, especially in today's time. It has to kind of pivot. So once it starts to do it, then we just take on whatever, like you said, whatever way it's supposed to come. We just are ready to receive it. And we move from there. Yeah, ready to receive it. So congratulations to you. We wish you the best. Be safe out there in the pandemic, as you say. And we will look to hear from you again real soon as the album begins to materialize and you add some awesome features. I'm hoping that we will hear from your legendary family. I
would love to get them on something. You know, they're down there in Atlanta. You know, they got their thing going on down there with the station and some shows going. So I'm happy for them, you know, but I've never been the type to be like, you know, I've never been that person. You know what I'm saying? I like to, you know, communicate, hey, you know, this is what I'm doing. Every now and then get some guidance, follow the instructions that's given to me, because they're very simple instructions, follow through it, and then come back with, this is the end result of the directions that you gave me. Here's where I'm at now. Do you have any further information for me about, but I haven't come to them and be like, can you do this for me?
Right.
I won't do that either. You know, it has nothing to do about pride or anything, because like I just said, I have asked them for guidance, you know, but I wrote them earlier and said, hey, look, you know, if they needed any drops or anything done, let me know. And I extend that to everyone, yourself included.
Absolutely.
You know, because I own a facility, a professional facility.
Okay.
It's not, and I'm an engineer myself. It's just a matter of contacting me, letting me know what the script or idea of a script.
I'm glad you said that. That's great information. I will reach out to you on that, because I do have some ideas for that. Uh-oh, we might be losing you a little bit.
It was just a pause. I was just saying, today necessarily be.
It's bouncing just a little bit.
My apologies on behalf of Sprint.
It's Sprint and T-Mobile.
Yeah, now together with T-Mobile.
Yes.
Nationwide leader 5G network.
We will definitely continue that conversation as it relates to the drops. And ladies and gentlemen, if any of you guys have any interest as it relates to that information, then you can certainly follow and DM to get that. Senior G, we will touch base again in a bit about what you just offered. And I do want to say to you before you go, that is the way that we started Champagne and Conversations, which was to lean into the pioneers, to get helpful information, to learn how to pivot through what we were dealing with. So that's awesome that you said the same with, you know, your Uncle Chubb Rock and those that you work with in your family, that you're able to make a quick call and say, hey, just give me some information. I'm not asking for you to do it for me or take over, but at least guide me through where you've been. So that's amazing. You definitely were on the right track with that, I would say.
Yeah, I've been blessed between him, like I said. Rob Swinger has been more of the influence, especially from the production side of things, from the lyrical content side of things, and structuring my music and records. That was Mikey D. You know, from an engineering point of view, that was Dr. No. He mixed Ready to Die. He mixed the SWV Week album. He did the Bullworth movie soundtrack. He's worked personally with the RZA. He's worked personally with Dr. Dre. You know, and that was somebody who was working on one of my projects, and I was there next to him as his intern. Even though it's my project, I was
to learn from the amazing. Yes.
Correct. A platinum mixing engineer.
Yes.
And then to just learn from him and watch. You know, not ask too many questions. You know, I'm old school. You know, speak when spoken to, be seen, not heard.
That's dope. Yeah.
You know, so I learned a lot that way, just from watching people.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel very blessed to have had those individuals in my life at different points in my life.
To learn, absolutely.
This is a portion of the end result of that.
Well, it's not the end result. You might be midstream, but you're not at the end yet. So that's awesome that you're continuing to pick up gems along the way.
Yeah, I appreciate you correcting me. Thank you. It takes a village. Like I said,
it takes a village. Yes, and you have the gift.
Yeah, only because it was given to me.
Awesome. And we are going to say thank you for sharing that gift and continue at what you're doing. Obviously, stay safe out there in all of what's going on. We won't say it again as to what it is, but whatever it is, be safe out there. Okay. Keep your family safe, and we will look to hearing from you again real soon. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, it's Senior G, and we appreciate him coming out and sharing a little bit of time in between his video shoots. And please feel free to follow him. And we thank you from Champagne and Conversations.